Hi, and welcome to this week's practice of Tai Chi Easy. My name is Vince, and over the next several weeks, we're going to work on creating the building blocks so that you can start your own personal practice on your own kind of time schedule. So it's great that you can come here to these videos and watch what's going on and learn a little bit, but we want to ultimately get you to the point where you can do this practice on your own pretty much anytime, any place. Today, we're going to start talking about the three treasures and how we connect with those treasures in our body, mind, and breath. We're also going to play around with a little bit of Qigong, get ourselves loosened up and warmed up, help boost our immune systems a little bit. And then we're going to leave you with one of the first forms of the Tai Chi Easy 5 form. This way you can practice a little bit, and the following week we'll go on to the second form, the third form, and just complete that up over the next several weeks. All right, so what do we mean by the three treasures? Well, the three treasures are simply this: connecting with the body, connecting with your breathing, and connecting with your mind. And why are these things so important? Well, they're important because if we have the correct posture, it's much easier for the body to do its work of keeping you healthy. When we're all hunched over and slouched, if we spend a lot of time during the day sitting, a lot of the stuff in the body doesn't get moving. So learning how to have the correct posture, whether you're sitting, standing, walking, whatever the case may be, can make a big difference. So we want to tie in to what good posture feels like, and we can adapt it at any time we need to. Secondly is breathing. Breathing is probably one of the most important things that we can do for our immune system, and probably the most least understood. So we're going to learn different ways to breathe and how that breath changes chemically what's going on in the brain and in the body. And then finally, the mind. We want to connect with the mind so that we can learn how to calm it down. We have this wonderful nervous system that has two sides to it, sympathetic and the parasympathetic. The sympathetic side is really good if a bear's chasing you down the street because it gives you that superhuman power to do the things that you have to do. But we can't live at that state of heightened awareness all the time. The adrenaline that goes through the body, the way the organs react to stress is very detrimental to our overall health. So we want to learn how to flip that switch on our nervous system to the parasympathetic side, or the rest and regenerate side. And that's a really wonderful thing to be able to control on your own. So over the next several weeks, we're going to play with that. So let's get ourselves started. I don't like to spend a whole lot of time standing and talking. I'd rather be moving and talking a little bit about this practice I've been doing for well over 20 years now. So we always start out with connecting to the body first. We want to do that by learning how to stand. And we do this with something called the Wuji posture. Wuji simply means emptiness or stillness. We want to stand with the feet shoulder width apart. Take a look down and make sure the feet are parallel. The toes are pointing forward. Next, we want to soften the knees. And I'm going to show you the profile here. We just, instead of standing straight up with the knees locked, we're going to soften the knees a little bit. And you can feel the change in your feet, how all the weight is now distributed from the heel of my foot to the toes, and also from right to left. So I'm not leaning in one side. I'm not standing with my weight back or my weight forward. I'm trying to find that middle ground with my feet shoulder width, knees soft. And the next thing we want to look at is the pelvic area. And very often we stand upright. The tailbone is actually pointing back this way. We want to change that and get the tailbone so it's pointing towards the floor. The easiest way to do that, one hand on the small of your back, one hand on your belly, lower belly, and just rock the pelvis a little bit and understand what that feels like to have the tailbone pointing towards the floor. You want to take this curve out of the lower spine. This creates a neutral core area. So not any one group of muscles is working harder than the others, right? So let's get started again. Feet shoulder width, toes pointing forward, knees soft. Adjust that tailbone. Now, from the waist down, we want to feel connected to the earth like a mighty oak tree, almost as if we have roots going out from the bottom of our feet deep into the earth, and we feel solid and connected. The upper part of the body now should be very open, like the branches of a tree. Crown of the head should be floating up. This lengthens the spine. And as the spine lengthens, we also notice that the torso area opens up. Makes it easier to breathe, all right? Because the abdominal area is open, the chest is open, and the shoulders are relaxed. So let's just shake the shoulders a little bit and make sure they are relaxed. We can also pick the shoulders up and drop them a few times. Take a nice deep breath. Drop them back down. Good. Now, we're just going to stand quietly. And this is that first treasure, the first intentful connection with body. So do a quick scan. Start at the toes, work your way up. And notice how comfortable it is to stand this way. There's no stress anywhere in the body. Knees, hips, spine, shoulders, they're all relaxed. You all feel open. Good. All right. Now, we're going to start with the second intentful connection, and that is the breath work. I'm going to use my hands to indicate how I'm breathing and the speed. You can just stand with your hands quietly at your sides. And we're going to, even though this is the warm-up, this is still a very meditative portion of the warm-up, and it's very important to the practice. So we want to start with a nice deep inhale through the nose. And then just relax everything and exhale out through the nose. We want to make the exhalation longer than the inhalation. That's very important, and we'll talk about that more in the coming weeks. But for right now, we have enough to think about, so let's just keep it simple. Nice deep breath in, filling the belly. And now relaxing breath out. And again, just a reminder, make that exhalation longer than the inhalation. Good. Let's do a few more. Now, while we're connecting with the breath, we still want to maintain our connection with the body. So make sure your knees are still slightly bent. You haven't moved your feet out of position. The tailbone is still pointing towards the floor. Shoulders relaxed, and the crown of the head is floating up. Very simple to do while you still maintain this nice, long, slow, deep breathing. Okay, now let's keep the breath work going, and we're going to move into the third intentful connection, and that is with the mind. And what I encourage you to do at this point, for the rest of the time that we have together, disconnect yourself from all your responsibilities. There are no phone calls waiting. There's no emails waiting. There's no shopping list to make. There's no place that you need to go for the rest of our time together. So nice deep breath in, relaxing breath out, letting the mind calm down. And just focus on yourself. All right, now we're going to begin our warm up and actually get the body moving. We're going to start with something called knocking on heaven's gate. Very simple practice. We're just going to turn the shoulders one side and back. And just let the arms go wherever they want to go. Let centrifugal force take over. And if the hands tap into the torso, that's fine. But you still want to maintain that nice tall spine. Crown of the head floating up, eyes level with your horizon. And still taking long, slow, deep breaths. This is really good to loosen up the spine, loosen up the muscles of the back. But this spiraling motion is also very good for the connective tissue, the fascia. We're going to talk a lot about that over the coming weeks. Very important subject. Now, let's bring one hand up and tap that point on your shoulder, right where the collarbone and the shoulder meet. There are things in the body called meridian lines. And they're the very same things that an acupuncturist would use, pressing and putting needles in the pressure points. We're doing the same thing just by gently tapping the first point on the lung meridian. So we're kind of stimulating the lungs, helping clear them out and keep them healthy. And it's just a very light tap. All right, let's let the body become quiet. Good. All right, now we're going to loosen up the spine, but we're going to start with the cervical part of the spine, just where the neck is. Focus on that area and take in a deep breath. As you exhale, lower the chin and then pick the chin up. Inhale, look up towards the ceiling. Still keeping this all very meditative, very slow, still connecting to the body, the breath, and the mind. Now let's bring the eyes back up to the center position. We're going to turn the chin over to this direction. We call this the wall side. So bring the chin over that way, and then turn the chin back over to what we call the window side. Nice deep breath in one direction, relaxing breath out in the other. And one thing I want to make sure that you do throughout all our time together, any exercise that we do, make sure you keep it in your own personal safety zone. So we don't need to turn the neck to an extreme where it's starting to hurt. We want to stop way before that. So any exercise that we go through, even if it's a simple warm-up like this, never push to the extreme. Just keep it all in your own comfort zone. All right, bring the chin back to the center. Let's focus on the very tip of the chin as if we had a paintbrush there. We're going to draw some circles. So we're going to drop the chin down. Turn the chin over to the wall side and lift up slowly. This is your inhale. Come across the top. Down the other side. This is your exhale. When you get back to your starting point, go back the way you came. Turning to the window, lifting the chin up, coming across the top, slowly down the other side. Now, in the beginning of doing this, you may hear a lot of snap, crackle, pop sound. That's perfectly normal. As long as there's no pain involved, that's a normal reaction for the neck. In time, with practice, that noise will go away. All right. Now, bring your chin back up to your starting point. We're going to do the rest of the spine, and that'll conclude our warm-up. So let's start with a nice big inhale. Exhale down and lower the hands towards the floor and let your body follow the hands down. Keep the knees slightly bent and let the weight of the arms and shoulders stretch out the spine. Slowly come back up. Nice deep breath in as you come up. When you're vertical, roll the shoulders back. Stand nice and tall, and then settle back into your posture. Let's do one more of those. Big inhale. Exhale down. Inhale back up. And roll the shoulders. Good. All right, let's shake that out a little bit. Good. Now, in your own personal practice, your warm-up can be almost anything. You want to maintain that connection with the body, breath, and mind. You want to keep it slow, keep the breath really organized and focused. And you can do pretty much any exercise you want as a warm-up, but just try to be consistent with it and work on those areas that need to be woken up, like the spine, okay, like the shoulders, like the hips and knees. Bring them up to speed slowly. All right, we're going to move through some simple Qigong forms, standing in the same posture that we're in now, using the same breath method, so we still maintain that body, breath, mind connection. All right, and this is called the Vitality Method. So we'll probably get 2 or 3 of these through, and then we want to show you that first Tai Chi form. So check your body. Feet parallel, knees soft. Check the tailbone, make sure it's pointing towards the floor. Crown of the head is lifting up. And let's interlace the fingers very lightly. And we're going to inhale, lift the hands. When the hands get near the heart, rotate the palms all the way around so it's up to the ceiling. Continue your inhale as you press. Nice big stretch. Now relax the body. Exhale. Slowly bring the hands down. Good. All right. When the hands come all the way down, let's do that again. Interlace the fingers. Feel the body expand as you inhale, rotate, and lift. And now feel the body relax as you exhale. Slowly come down. Spine and shoulders settle. Knees slightly flexed. Good. Let's do a few more of those. Inhale. This is simply called pushing up and pushing out. This exercise has a lot of good benefits, but the most obvious ones are for the spine, for the shoulders. Rotating those shoulder joints, rotating the wrists and elbows. All right, we'll make that the last one. Let's turn the palms forward. The second motion is called flow motion. We're going to inhale, lift the hands as high as the shoulders, float the hands back down. You want to bring the hands all the way past the hips. Turn the palms forward, lift up. Exhale, back down. Still maintaining that nice tall spine. Tailbone is tucked down towards the floor. Slow, deep breathing. And with every breath, we feel the body expand on the inhale. Joints open, blood vessels open. And then you want to feel everything just relax. There's a lot of chemistry going on in the brain and the body right now. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. But just notice how you feel internally now as compared to 20 minutes ago or so when we first started. Hopefully you're feeling a bit calmer, a bit more relaxed. All right. So there's the first two forms of the Vitality method. We need to show you the closing. The closing is simple. We call it bamboo in the wind. We're going to shift all the weight into the leg on the wall side, raise the arms up, bring the window side foot in close as we raise the arms overhead. That's your inhale. Now exhale, slowly bring the hands down. Place the hands just below the navel on the belly, one palm over the other. Take a nice deep breath, and again, just kind of bathe yourself in this sense of calm and relaxation. All right, shake that out a little bit. Good. And as promised, we have some time left to learn the first form of the Tai Chi Easy form. So one thing you want to remember with Tai Chi and Qigong, they are two very related practices. In fact, Qigong is called the mother of Tai Chi. Tai Chi came along many years later, but Qigong is about 5,000 years old. Tai Chi is much younger than that. But we're going to play around with that first move. So the first move, let me just demonstrate it. It's called parting the wild horse's mane or harmonizing yin and yang. And we do this by doing what we call holding the ball on one side of the body. We can hold on either side. In this program, we're going to hold the ball on the right side. You want the ball to be relatively close to the hip. Whatever side the ball is on, that hand should be on top. Okay, the other hand just gently holding the bottom of the ball. You're going to pivot the window side foot out, bring your weight into that leg, step forward, small step, and then move the arms and move the torso. Now we have to be very careful here in what we say, moving the arms. If I do this motion without moving the torso, let me show you what it looks like. My hands are here. If I don't turn the torso, The top hand comes straight down. The bottom hand floats up on the center line. Now, because I'm moving the torso, it looks like my arms are moving, but they're really staying in that one position. So it's very important to understand this because it applies in all the Tai Chi forms that we do. The old masters say that in Tai Chi, you really don't use your arms. And it's true, you're not using your arms to the degree you think. Very often my students do this. Okay, they're using the arms to move and create the form. That's really not the thing. It's an entire body practice, okay? So let's just look at that movement one more time. I'm going to shift my weight to the wall side, pivot to the window side. And when I pivot, my torso pivots, my eyes, hips, and shoulders are in alignment. I'm holding that ball on my window side hip with the window side hand on top. I bring the weight back into that leg, take a small step forward, and part the wild horse's mane. Turning the hips, I want the hips to end up facing this direction along with my shoulders and my eyes. And that bottom hand comes up. Okay, that's how we're doing it. Now, we're going to learn this stationary, so we're not going to play around with the steps for a while, but I wanted to show you what the entire form looked like. Typically, we learn this as a Qigong practice, so we're going to just turn the torso and then move the arms. Bring your torso all the way to the other side, then sweep the window side hand across. That's holding the bottom of the ball. The top hand, we just turn over and then turn back the way you came. Top hand comes down, bottom hand floats up. Once you're feeling comfortable with the form, then I want you to play with it a little bit. Shift the weight if you'd like. Keep the spine straight. Remember, again, the arms are not doing a lot. One arm goes down, the other arm comes up. Now, this is a really good Qigong exercise. You can focus on the breathing, focus on the body, focus on the mind, and play with keeping the spine upright, keeping the body relaxed. Sometimes this is just a really good warm-up before your practice. Take one Tai Chi form, maybe two, and just play with it a little bit. We always refer to Tai Chi as playing Tai Chi. And in time, you'll understand that a little bit. All right, let's do a few more repetitions. Now, let's just separate the hands. Bring the hands down. We're going to do one more closing. Just shift over to the wall side. Step in with the window side. Again, wash that energy down, helping you stay grounded and centered. Nice tall spine. Placing the hands on the lower abdominal area. Take a deep breath. Okay, great. Thank you all for joining us today. I hope to see you in the next class. My name is Vince, and looking forward to working with you guys again.